all these eco brands and they're selling petroleum. It's like, I don't think so, fuckface.
Welcome to Nice Ashes. Join hosts Mike and Nate for cigars and culture. Let's go beyond the smoke.
What are we smoking, Mike?
We are smoking the Fidalgo, which, no more information than that, right?
Yeah. We should have saved this one, though. It does say Dominican Republic on the label. We should have saved this for a movie review of the Viggo Mortensen film Hidalgo, because we could do the Fidalgo with Hidalgo. That would have been a good plan.
Yeah, that would have been interesting, right?
I guess. I don't know that anyone's interested in that film anymore, but I thought it was pretty good when it came out. The label looks, I guess, nice. I mean, it doesn't have any manufacturer information on it. The actual cigar looks less than nice. I mean, the way they put this cap on the end, it looks like it might have been their third or fourth try of assembling a cigar. And
well, it does say handmade right on the label.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. And it is. I can vouch.
Cap tastes terrible.
Oh, God. Okay. Thank God it's a Toro size, right?
Right, yeah.
It's a good thing it's 8 inches long. I'm pairing my cigar with, I took a little droid day trip over to Wisconsin and got an Oliphant Brewing Lumberjack Bays, which is a hazy IPA.
Oh, Oliphant. I purchased their products before. They're good.
Yes. They weren't there when I used to live there, though. I lived there up until high school, and then we moved before high school.
Sure. That's been a while ago now, since we were in high school. Uh-oh. Sounds like Nate didn't fill his lighter. Mike's not the only one this time.
Nate filled his lighter. The problem is we got a fuck ton of snow, and it's cold as shit out here because we're recording this on St. Patty's Day. And when my lighter gets cold, it doesn't like to light, which is exactly why you have a lighter, to light things when it's cold out. So I don't know what's going on.
It is horrifyingly cold. I had to go into town today, and my God, it was awful. You don't expect this sort of weather this time of year. The snow is one thing. It's the cold that gets me.
Yes. I'm going to put this lighter in my pocket so that it stays warm in case I need to relight this thing. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of these first few puffs, Mike.
No, I'm not a huge fan. And my pairing of water, I don't think is going to make it any better.
I don't think that's going to work for you.
We're going to make it work. We are going to make it work.
Well, fine then, Mike. What are we talking about this fine day?
Well, we're going to be back on to fires, and these are big international fires now we're moving on to, and these are all going to be themed. We'll call it themed. We'll see if we can find a theme. We had a theme last episode. We're going to see if we have a theme this episode. Might be the same, might change, but we'll see.
So we'll ended with the Maui Lahana fire, right? That's where we ended.
No, we ended with Los Angeles. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you forgot where we went, part 1 is out, and you can go back and listen. This will be part 2, and I am told that there will be a part 3.
Yes, the part 3 is going to be one-off actors and or groups that are independent, a little more relaxed and enjoyable. I guess
the groups are a little more relaxed and enjoyable. They're just out there for shenanigans, or
they're just out there for the kicks, for the kicks.
Yeah.
All right, so
for
we're
the
moving
love
on.
Of the game.
For the love of the game. Yeah. For those of you who took the time to go and download the attachments for this episode, we're going to move on to the Patagonia in Argentina.
Yes. What is that? That's page 14, class.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
All right, Patagonia, that's that clothing company, right?
Yeah, there's that clothing company, and the guy that owns that company has bought a shit ton of land and donated it, I guess. I didn't really look into that. I'm sure that there's some nefarious purpose. There has to be, right?
I feel like that's a well-respected brand, but, I guess all it takes is one or two bombshell tidbits to change.
It's a well-respected brand that slings petroleum products as sustainable and good for the environment. So let's not get crazy, okay? It's not like they're beyond reproach, all these eco brands and they're selling petroleum. It's like, I don't think so, fuckface. Like canvas and leather is much more sustainable than plastic any day of the week.
Yeah, but my car's not going to run off of leather, Mike, so...
No. We all burn dinosaur bones. That's not what I'm saying. It's just...
I'm just...
Yeah, you can't package this as a good for the environment kind of deal when it's not,
No.
No.
No matter how much you offset your carbon footprint.
No matter how much you offset your carbon footprint, you're kind of effed, but...
Yeah, I mean, whatever that means anyway.
Right. So, Argentina is tied in with this character named Joe Louis, and this is a highly documented case of a foreign billionaire illegally strategizing to take over territory.
All right.
And he colluded with multiple heads of state.
Sure.
And he created an unmonitored private international airport in his holdings in Argentina. And there were deaths. Many people have died tied to these land purchases. And this is why it's important. I believe that Joe Louis got a pardon from Donald Trump.
That does not surprise me, Mike.
It does not. It doesn't surprise me either. Let's call it that. So this one doesn't necessarily include fire so much as it includes illegal land acquisition, right?
Yeah.
So Joe Louis is a billionaire. He's worth $5 to $6 billion. According to him, in his own legend, he built himself from scratch, including hospitals, golf courses, and residential communities. Now we know that this is not how things work, right? This guy was tied in with George Soros, and he made a shit ton of money in 1992 during a stock market crash. And you can't get tied in with George Soros unless you're some sort of insider person, probably of the Zionist persuasion, right? Like you're a big actor. So what this character did is he purchased 14,000 hectares, which is larger than an acre. I don't know how large a hectare is. Let's look it up. Google the show.
Well, what is hect? Hect is a measurement unit.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I only know cheeseburgers and Dachshunds, so I'm kind of at a loss for the conversion rate.
1 hectare is 2.47 acres. So that's really useful.
That makes sense.
So glad
Thank you that we have the hectare.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Let's fucking get this over to acres because we can understand acres. So that's 34,500 acres. Well, an acre is what, like 100 feet by 120 feet or something like that. It's at least relatable, Like you can buy plots of land in acres. You can't buy them in hectares anymore.
Well, if you have enough money, you could probably buy them whatever unit you want to.
That is very
Not like the
true.
bank gives a shit. Oh, you don't want it to be measured in acres. You want hectares for some reason? Okay. You want how many Costco length hot dogs it is? Sure. We'll send a guy out there right now.
Right. So this is against the law. Argentinian law bans foreigners from buying land.
Okay.
So this Joe Louis guy, he bought these hectares through 4 different shell companies, which is what rich people do. They just add layers and layers of complexity to protect them from the ramifications of their decisions. And it works. So there we go.
Well, you can't tell me Argentina doesn't want the money.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So this will go with you. This will go with what you just said. Joe Louis is tied in with Carlos Menem, who was the former president of Argentina. And he was convicted of illegal arms sales to Ecuador and Croatia by Argentina. So this super corrupt guy who's trading in weapons kind of protected Joe Louis when he was president.
Well, of course.
You
scratch my back, I'll scratch your back.
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy.
It's just not in the shower because that's weird.
Exactly. So in 2005, there was a killing.
Okay.
Ireneo Montero was one of 2 brothers or several brothers that held land adjacent to Louis's land, and they refused to sell. He and his wife and an employee were found dead in mysterious circumstances.
Sure.
Yeah. This, of course, was documented, and no charges were filed, which goes along right with the 21 people that worked for the Clintons that were found dead, right?
Yeah.
In 2008, Joe Louis completed the building of a private airport. It was prepared to receive large aircraft, had no radar coverage, had no customs, no border control, and no flight logs.
Sounds like my kind of airport, Mike.
Yeah. And remember, this is an illegal airport built on illegal illegally purchased land.
Probably bringing in illegal things because that's why you wouldn't have customs.
I would say that Joe Louis was probably doing some illegal things in Argentina. I don't know if it was related to Epstein Island or not, but probably at the minimum drug trafficking and gun trafficking.
Yes.
Yes. So, another Argentinian president, Mauricio Macri, was implicated in assisting Louis in his endeavor and reportedly was very good friends with him. He vacationed with Louis. He defended Louis in public, and he eliminated the 1,000 hectare cap on foreign land ownership, which then made Joe Louis's illegally gotten land in the last 20 years legal.
Which is what, like 230 acres or something like that?
1,000 hectares would be
2,000
2,400, something like that, 2,500. Yeah. So Louis, of course, is heavily involved with the WEF. He's got all sorts of energy industry ties and apparently pharmaceutical ties, therapeutic ties, and stock trades. Reportedly, Joe Louis was earning illegal profits on his stock trades. And he was sentenced to... Yeah, I know. Isn't that strange? This billionaire only received a $5 million fine and 3 years of probation.
Hey, for that $5 million fine, why don't you have some beer to go with that?
President Donald Trump pardoned Mr. Louis in November of 2025 with no explanation. Not that long ago. With no explanation. I'm sure that we can think of some reasons.
Well, I mean, all of our superior military needed to get the ammo over to Argentina somehow, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Argentina is a little corrupt. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, but it's not close to Iran. I was making a joke, like that's obviously not what they were doing together.
No.
Wink, wink, wink.
Wink, wink, wink. Oh, man. So fun.
You know what's not fun, Mike?
This cigar.
Is this cigar.
It is terrible. I mean, it's not acetone flavored, but it isn't good.
It's not good. It tastes kind of burnt, or like that aftertaste is kind of like the burnt. I don't know.
Right.
Not fun times. Carry on with Joe.
All right. So there has been a few things that have occurred on this illegal property that Joe Louis has. In 22, he held an Epstein Island type meeting, is how I'm going to describe it. Super secret. Media, city officials, government officials all met on his private illegal reserve, and they were all charged with accepting improper gifts. What these improper gifts were, who knows? But
my guess is they were underage, Mike.
I'm guessing that it had to do with grape soda, cheese pizza, hot dogs, and jerky, whatever jerky is.
I know. I thought that's pretty close to what Trump did to Bill Clinton, from what I've heard.
I mean, blowing Bubba, right?
Yep, taking a Bubba bath.
There we go. Now in 23, of course, these characters were all acquitted by this corrupt piece of shit judge Sebastian Ramos.
All right.
Not gonna pull any punches on that.
Mike's done mincing words.
That's right. So 0 of these people who were doing all this weird shit got in trouble. Or alleged weird shit. You know, improper gifts. Who knows? We can't really say.
Yeah. Could be cars. Really, I don't know.
Could be
Florsheims. I don't know.
So there is a second group that illegally owns land in Argentina. Allegedly illegally. It's the Benetton Mapuche. Or
Mapuche.
The Benetton Group.
Okay.
They own 900,000 hectares of Patagonia. They are the single large... Oh, go ahead.
19,000 acres?
That would be like 2 million and change acres.
Oh, 2 million and change acres.
2 million and change acres. Yeah.
I get the first couple like of what you tell me, and then I'm just trying to double that in my head, and then I forget how many zeros come after it. And of course, I'm thinking like I'm thinking like an actual person and not somebody who could own that many acres ever.
Right. And this Benetton group is a big-ass participant of the WEF. They are documented, unlike most of the WEF scum.
Yep.
They are open and proud. So they, of course, bribed the government during a wave of privatization in the 1990s, a.k.a. the post-Cold War fallout, where many Latin American countries were forced to sell out their public infrastructure because of, the World Trade Organization loans. We covered that in a book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman, I believe.
Yeah.
This all ties in. Everything ties in with these.
You have to look at the parts to see the whole picture, Mike.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Now, of course, these Benetton Mapuche characters, these big, massive corporation in the WEF, they kind of expanded past what they originally bought. And they have been using the Argentinian police to forcibly remove indigenous communities from their lands based on colonial titles created by the British government.
Sure.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, I mean, if you can keep blaming Britain, why not?
Well, they're kind of tied in with a lot of this stuff.
You could argue they kind of started all this stuff. I mean, on the global scale.
Globally, yeah. On the big global scale, I would agree with that. And of course, the main thing that we're concerned about is not related necessarily to fire damage, but the group here uses their land, which is supposed to be Patagonian rainforest, for strip logging and sheep production. So they are destroying rainforest to produce wool and trees.
All right.
Joy.
Love it.
Love it. All right. We're going to move on to Brazil. They have state-sponsored agribusiness, let's call it.
All right.
Right? We'll call it that.
I see some states I know on here, Mike.
The state.
Oh, the state. Well, later in a minute, I'm sure you'll talk about what I'm seeing, the key players.
Oh, yeah. So, Brazil has a fire development system, or arson model, similar to Greece. And the president, Mr. Bolsonaro, supports this. Now, the commodity traders who benefit from this are all engaged with the WEF, and they're tied in with USAID, which is an extension of the United States government. Right, USAID is kind of a cover organization for black ops, special ops. So these people that we're about to talk about, these companies we're about to talk about, are using our tax dollars to burn down rainforest to then pay off the president of Brazil so they can get the rainforest and exploit the land.
Yeah, but they don't actually want the rainforest. They just want the land the rainforest is inconveniently situated on.
That is correct. They view the land as unexploited farmland, basically.
Yep. What is it? Value for the stakeholders or shareholders or something, right?
Right, exactly. So we got four big players. Cargill, which a big WEF supporter, and they buy soy and cattle from deforested Amazon areas. Apparently, they get an F rating for deforestation.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it makes sense, though, because here in America, we don't have any soy or cattle at all in our own country here.
Well, interestingly enough, there is a phenomenon in the United States where our government purposefully hurt the cattle ranchers in our country during COVID and prevented them from bringing their product to market. There is now a shortage of beef because of this, so the government's going to allow South American beef to be imported, and they're going to attempt to prevent it from being labeled as foreign product. So our own government, and they're also going to give welfare to these ranchers now, because they're going bankrupt because of government policy. So we're paying for
the American
thrice.
ones or the South American ones?
The American ones. Ones. So we're paying our cattle ranchers because our government fucked them, and then we're giving massive amounts of money to the governments of these foreign countries to burn down their own rainforest to grow cattle so that we can import it so that our farmers can't compete against the foreign cattle that is making them go bankrupt in the first place, so that we can give them welfare. It's like a closed loop of government intervention.
Yeah, it makes you kind of wonder what the end game is. Like, what, why would you want our farmers to not produce cattle?
I think it's because the wealthy want to own everything, and they will do it by any means necessary.
Yeah. And if our farmers can't make food, they can become food. Sign up to become Soylent Green today.
You will own nothing and be happy.
Yes. You want to do a cigar check real quick, Mike?
Sure, I'm about a quarter of the way through.
Oh, I'm about halfway, and I've had to relight it like 4 times because it does not stay lit very well. It's also like 10 degrees where I'm recording, so.
Yeah, I turned on the heat out here and closed the doors. It's cold as
Yeah.
shit. This is awful. This cigar is terrible.
It doesn't get better, Mike. I'm about halfway through, and it just does not get better. It's nasty.
It's terrible. Don't buy this. So we're going to move on to these other companies.
There's
we got
not- there's not
Bunge. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say there's not enough of a magic flavor change it could do in the last half that would remedy the first half.
So we got Bunge. I'm just going to lump these together. Bunge, ADM, and LDC.
Yes.
These are all American companies. They are all WEF members, and they're all buying soy and corn from deforested regions of the Amazon. Awful.
Yep.
Awful. So this sort of pipeline of fires, land acquisitions, growing crops, selling them to U.S. international corporations, but largely U.S. corporations. This is being funded by former President Jair Bolsonaro, who accused the USAID of starting Amazon fires to embarrass his government, even though he was cutting deals with these companies to buy up the land that was lit on fire. So
Well, he's got to do the lip service somewhere, right? I mean, if he's the first one to call it out, then he can't be the bad guy.
right, he calls the Amazon a resource to be developed. It's like, so the very guys who are doing it, it doesn't really matter if it's USAID or the president. He's a puppet probably, right? Taking bribes at the very least. They're all in on it, and then they blame each other. And then, of course, when it goes to court, there's not enough evidence to prove that any one of them are responsible. And they don't charge them with RICO charges, which is what they should fucking do.
Yeah.
Whatever. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So there's another person named Teresa Cristina, the former agricultural minister, who was a soy lobbyist, who then became...
No.
Yeah. Right? And then became the minister overseeing the rainforest. So the person that was advocating for burning down the rainforest became in charge of the rainforest. Kind of like our government, when they put together these people who are anti-government in charge of things like the Bureau of Land Management, and then the Bureau of Land Management wants to mass sell public land to rich people.
Yep.
It's a closed loop.
Or you put the soy guy in charge of the rainforest, and he's like, boy, you know how many soybeans I could be growing right here?
Exactly.
A lot.
Exactly.
A lot of hectares, tell you that.
Yep. So that was the agricultural minister. This is the environmental minister, which is Ricardo Saleh. And Ricardo was charged by the police with facilitating illegal logging operations. Apparently, he was personally embezzling money. Ernesto Araujo was the foreign minister, who is a climate change denier, and he...
Well, but that's been now proven. There is no climate change.
There is no climate change. There is no climate change. Also, he claimed that international pressure to not burn down the Amazon was interference in Brazilian sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Ricardo Galvão, who was the INPE director, who is, I think these guys are partially in charge of the forests. But anyway, deforestation increased 278% under his reign of protecting the rainforest. And then, of course, there is the Bancada Ruralista, which is the agricultural caucus, which are the Brazilian congressional members who are all part of the pro-ag caucus. And, of course, they are all receiving money from the very industries that are deforesting the rainforest. Similar to how our system, it's not called bribing, it's called freedom of speech. Right? It's just freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Yeah. Businesses and caucuses are people. So
that's right. Corporations are human beings. More important than you.
Yep.
More important than you. So, Bolsonaro is now in jail. Apparently, he attempted a coup against Lula da Silva, from what I understand, is more left-leaning, and Bolsonaro was more right-leaning. Always interesting. apparently his supporters did attack the government, try to overthrow it when he was in Florida. Of course, you're the president of a foreign country, so where do you go? Florida. It's always a good sign when the leader of a third world country comes to the United States to hide, hang out.
Vacation?
How would you, vacation permanently?
Glad hand? I don't know.
Always good. Always good. And there's other things. Bolsonaro turned down assistance in trying to fight fires in the Amazon. So, yeah, when the leader of your country for 4 years is actively involved in burning down the rainforest so agribusiness can grow soy and cattle, it's not good. No. It's not good. So, yeah, it's exactly like the Greek model, except the government's directly involved.
Yeah, except they didn't get the memo from Greece where you're supposed to not keep paperwork on who's all involved in doing all this stuff.
Right?
And here it's like they wear a little lapel pin. Like, yes, I've been burning down the rainforest. Oh, I see you have your burn down the rainforest pin on too. We can be friends. Let's talk.
Yeah, it's great. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that we live in a country where these things don't happen. We would never, ever live in a place where they're AIing the leaders of our own country and then pretending like it didn't happen.
Yes.
It's great. It's great. So we're going to talk about Australia in the 1920 Black Summer climate-driven fire season. Do you remember this? I remember this.
I remember. Yeah.
I remember. It was a big deal. So the theory is that climate change amplified the natural fire cycle in Australia. 183 people were, in fact, arrested for starting the fires.
Okay.
And
were there 183 fires, or is it one fire with, wait for it?
I believe there was a
multiple
series of fires.
ignition points.
Yes, multiple ignition points. Yes. Now, there was an active bot campaign spreading disinformation, and apparently, the insurance companies benefited massively from the carbon credit system.
No.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. We're not saying that they started the fires, but they definitely took advantage of the fires. And apparently, the government failed to document their response initially. So their bungling assisted the fires in growing larger.
Sure.
Now, that alone is not evidence, but I would like you to remember the crackdown on free speech that is occurring in Australia as we speak. They are arresting people right now for supporting the existence of the Palestinians. Right now, it is against the law to say that you are against Israel in Australia. You cannot say that out loud.
Well, who would ever be against Israel? They're so nice.
Well, in the United States of Israel, we, of course, love Israel. It's great. It is great. 250 years, and now we are the U.S. of I, for sure. I want to make that into a T-shirt, by the way, for this 250th.
You know what? I know a guy.
I know you know a guy. I was thinking about that last night. I was like, we need to make a U.S. of I shirt for the 250th. And I wonder if people would even get it, but I think that I don't care.
Yeah. If they don't get it, I don't need them to be friends with me.
Right, exactly. USI. Woo, woo, woo. So, we're going to have a little timeline here because why not? In April of 2019, 8 months before the fires peaked, Australia's most senior retired fire chief sought a meeting with the Prime Minister Morrison to brief him on the unprecedented fire risk. Prime Minister Morrison refused the meeting. At that point, the fire chiefs went public. Morrison, of course, during these fires, went on vacation to Hawaii. Always a good sign when your third world leader leaves and goes to the United States to hide.
Is Australia a third world country?
It is not, but it is behaving like it. Yeah, I am so glad I never took that job in Australia. I can tell you, I am so happy I never went there to work.
Well, that and all the fucking huge spiders and shit.
I mean, I could have lived with that. It's weird for me being from Minnesota, but you can deal with that sort of thing. There's ways to mitigate those dangers.
Yeah.
And I've been willing to do it. Right. Well, there for a long while, they were offering citizenship to anybody who worked for 1 year in a rural area or 2 years in a city area.
Oh, okay.
So you could go there, and they had a whole jobs program. There's like 235 jobs or something. I can't remember the exact number, but I qualified for at least 2 of the jobs. And of course, you had to speak English and so on and so forth. But they had interesting stuff. So they were trying to get people to immigrate that were already educated there for a while. And I considered it just because I was single and looking for work. Like, why not go some foreign place and have fun? But I am so glad I didn't get stuck there. I can tell you that. Holy smokies, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's easier to go some foreign place and have fun if you're the leader of some other foreign place. And then you can come to Hawaii or Florida and watch your country crumble from a distance.
Right. Well, the funny part is, and to this holiday, back to the holiday, the Prime Minister denied being in fucking Hawaii.
I wasn't there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I wasn't there. It's like Ted Cruz going to Mexico when power cut out in Texas, right? Like,
well, pretty much every time Ted Cruz goes somewhere, something catastrophic happens. So it's almost like the Nancy Pelosi stock trading index. Like when he goes somewhere, you know something's going to happen.
Right.
It's happened to him a couple times, Ted Cruz.
I support the people that want him to register as a foreign agent. Let's put it that way. I don't think he's got the best interest of the United States. Well, he's got the best interest of USI in mind, right? But not USA. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Let's put it that way. And of course, this is just aside. He's a big proponent of coal and gas. Big coal and gas guy. And of course, after the fires, he committed to net zero emissions by 2050 because that's going to be better. Yeah. Oh my God. This is awful. Right? Awful. So the biggest beneficiaries of these fires. So the Australian Carbon Credit Unit.
Yep.
Reforestation of burned areas generates carbon credits. So corporations can buy these carbon credits to offset their emissions, which helps them meet...
What the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, so you burn the forest down, and then you buy carbon credits based on the trees that are supposed to get planted there, and then you're carbon neutral by 2050, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Exactly. So
this doesn't seem like a Ponzi scheme to anyone else. Like, what are we doing here?
It seems similar in some ways. Oh, man. And this carbon credit system, of course, is a big WEF principle. They love the carbon credit system. And these carbon credits can be purchased by any big international corporation. Sure. So let's just say there is a revenue system in place. If you are a landholder whose property burned, you can collect insurance.
Yep.
Right? You also generate new carbon credits from the reforestation. Yeah. And you can get paid by the government to reforest the land. So you can collect your insurance money, the government pays you to reforest, and then when you do reforest, you get these carbon credits, which you can then sell.
Okay.
Not that this has anything to do with the Greek fire system.
Yeah, or the 183 separate fires, I guess, or people. I don't know. Like, if you're telling me I can get paid 3 times for burning my own land down.
Right, exactly. So, according to this, 180 people were charged with fire-related offenses. Only 24 were charged with deliberately lighting fires. And social media, that was a little disinformation, that 183 number. There was 180 and 24. So, there we go. Bots, of course, are doing it. And this is going to be weird, guys. Donald Trump Jr. spread disinformation about the fires. Very strange. Very strange. Also, the government, this is excellent. The Australian Bushfire Royal Commission determined that the fires were driven by climate-amplified conditions, not the 24 people charged with deliberately starting the fires, which means that it is not a coordinated campaign. Despite they arrested 180 people, only charged 24.
Classic.
Isn't that great? I think there's a pattern. Is there a pattern? I don't know.
Gotta be a pattern. I didn't realize how profitable arson was.
Very strange. Very strange. So, this number 8, this is the thing that got me on this.
Okay.
This is the thing that got me on this. So, we're going to get into it. This is very dense, and there's a lot of information because it's such a long time period. So, this is the Torres del Paine, which is a big forest in Chile. And there's a big nature park that tourists are allowed to go through. So we have data from 59 till 26. Wow. And this data is, some of it is better than others, right? Some of it is better than others. So we are going to get into it. Scientifically speaking, in this area, every fire that they have had has been determined to be purposefully caused or accidentally caused by humans.
Okay.
So this region does not have lightning, and it's pretty much a rainforest type area. We have also determined through science that the 600 years before colonization, there were 0 forest fires. 0 for 600 years.
So how do we know that?
The Frontiers in Ecology, the government analyzed charcoal sediment, and there is a near 0 amount of charcoal deposits.
Okay.
From approximately 1400 up until the 1800s. Right? There is no sign in the forest of fire adaptation. So think our rainforest in northwestern U.S. That is a fire-adapted rainforest. The larger fir-type trees and the oaks and things, they survive wildfire. And the wildfire cycle, where I live, we used to have the wildfire cycle as well. But these larger trees with the thicker barks, they survive the fires. The fire will burn out all the little tiny stuff periodically. And then the big trees can replant and so on and so forth.
And some trees need fire to propagate their seed.
Yeah, the jack pine, I believe, is one.
Yep. So that's interesting because at least here in North America anyway, the wildfires, and they would be set by the Native Americans here in North America too if they didn't get them enough, because the forest needs that, because when you get like an old growth forest, it's not diverse, it doesn't support a lot of life, it's not super useful. So it's interesting to have a place that would have, near 0 fires. But I suppose the makeup or the trees or the stuff is different than here, obviously. But
yes, it's different. Much more humid, I believe, and wetter and all those things. And they don't have a natural ignition source like we do with lightning. We get tons of lightning. Apparently, this place doesn't. Because of weather patterns, they don't get lightning storms.
That's also weird to me, but
that was very strange. A different part of the world. I mean, people. My brother-in-law is from the Dominican Republic, which will become relevant here next couple episodes. But he heard a wolf call, the roll call, for the first time, and it freaked him the fuck out. He could not he couldn't handle it. And then he wasn't a big fan of my dog until he heard that roll call.
Yep.
He heard the roll call. He's like, holy shit. And I'm like, don't worry about it. The dog is going to keep them out of the yard. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're fine. But every place is different. So it's just the way things are.
Yeah.
Yes. So this number, and we can get into why this number is off, but there have been 29 documented fires from 1985 until 2011. Before 1985, they didn't have a big federal government unit to keep track of their forest system. So the numbers are spotty. Now, these 29 fires are also very spotty because the Chilean government has an official policy to keep these things under wraps. And they are very underreported, underreported. And they also have a policy to protect the people that they arrest for starting fires and expel. So though we may know the nationalities of some of the perpetrators, we do not know all, if that makes sense to you. It doesn't make sense to me. We're in the United States. We keep track of everything, and everything is a matter of public record. So it's harder for me to see, The big issue in this area,
I think I see the big issue.
is when fires occur in this forest, the Torres del Paine, the Patagonian forest. It permanently converts to steppe grasslands. The forest never, ever grows back.
Wow.
So basically it becomes farmland, like cattle. It becomes cattle land when it burns down.
And soy.
And soy. Yeah. I'm guessing and soy. And possibly corn.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I think you mean, soy.
Oh, soy. Oh, soy. Now, of course, the AI wants us to know this, that during COVID-19, the number of fires dropped directly with the number of tourists coming through.
Yeah.
So Yeah, they did it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through some of these named perpetrators, and we're going to see if there is a
trend.
A trend.
Any interesting data points that may or may not mean anything?
Yeah, some data points may mean nothing, may mean something. Hard to know. So in 1985, this is the first big ass fire. Japanese tourist threw a cigarette into the wind and lit a fire. Not good. Sure. Wasn't prosecuted. Also, they hid their identity. Shocking.
Uh-huh.
Now, we just got done saying that we had 29 confirmed fires. This is where the data starts to become real angering. Between 85 and 2004, apparently there was 54 fires, according to the government.
Uh-huh.
So the government is providing us with different numbers of what we're seeing, okay? And of these 54 fires, up to 54 fires, no information was recorded about who did it. Yep. Isn't that great? And they don't have a FOIA, so you cannot get the government to disclose who did it. In 2005, an unnamed Czech backpacker accidentally lit a fire, allegedly. And the Czech government apologized and paid for reforestation of 1,800, they bought 180,000 seedlings, spent $1 million, and committed to a 5-year plan.
Okay.
To recover the damages.
So it's after a fire, it converts permanently to grassland. But if you plant it, will the forest come back?
You would think so.
Okay.
You would think so. I don't think that the forest naturally reforests.
It won't come back on its own.
Be replanted.
Got it.
Yeah. So we are on to the only person who was named in this entire saga.
Like 54.
Out of a minimum. Well, there's 54 undocumented. There's 29 additional fires that are documented. So what we're really talking about is
173
fires. Yeah.
We're getting close enough to like 80 to 100 fires here.
Yeah. Like 2 fires a year is what we're averaging here. Like there's a lot of fires in this area for whatever reason.
That has no lightning.
Yeah, and tourists. So in 2011, a gentleman named Rotem Singer, who was a former IDF soldier, started a fire. He denied responsibility, and they reached a plea deal without giving a conviction. And I looked into this. I mean, it started at a campfire that was tipped over on purpose. So
sure,
you can deny it, but
now IDF. What nation is that from, Mike?
The U.S. of I is where the IDF is from. I believe that is the Israeli Defense Force. The most moral army on earth, as they say. You should look into that, but. I know that I wouldn't be very happy if I was a member of a different military.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too happy. So, 2014, 4 more unnamed Israelis started a fire on purpose. No criminal proceedings were done. Now, this is the big one. This is where the government got savvy. So from 14 to the present, there's been 23 unnamed individuals who have been expelled from the country, right? 20 of the 23, 64%. Well, no, that's not true. 36 individuals were expelled. 36.
Okay.
This is where I got my math wrong. So we just were told earlier there was 29 fires, but the government from 14 to 17 expelled 36 people for starting fires.
Yes.
So
they can't all be of the same nationality, can they, Mike?
Well, 23 of the 36 were Israeli.
Okay.
Outright Israeli. 9 were German. Now, you can be German and Israeli.
Well, yeah.
So
2026, you can be whatever you want, Mike.
Right. Minimum 23 were Israeli. Minimum. 9 were explicitly German, and the remainder 4 were not listed.
Undocumented.
They didn't write down where they were from for one reason or another.
Probably one reason, but yeah.
Probably one reason. So I looked this up. Officially, 5% of the tourists that go to this park are Israeli.
Okay.
And at minimum, they have started 64% of the fires.
Yes.
At minimum 64, potentially more.
Yeah.
Now, is that number random? Does that seem like a coincidence?
Well, my question is why? Why does Israel hate this forest?
Israel has had a long-standing policy of trying to pressure the Chilean government to allow them to buy land in Chile. And our government,
there it is,
being the United States, has put significant political pressures on Chile to accommodate business demands of our government. And I'm not saying that agents would start fires on purpose to try to manipulate government officials in foreign countries, but it seems like 5% of the tourists are causing at least 65% of the fires. So
yeah, do we? You might not have this, Mike, but does Israel have some sort of like state lottery thing where you win a trip to Chile, to the forest in Chile?
No. So apparently the IDF has a big time culture of when you're done genociding, you then go on a backpacking trip across the globe and cause problems.
With as many matches as you can carry.
Yeah, apparently so. It's just a coincidence. It's a coincidence. But
well, it's their culture, man, and you can't fault them for their culture. That's
it's
protected
cultural
class or something. I don't know.
Right. So these fires, the land that now becomes farmland can just be bought by foreign countries. They did change their law to back down to our demands, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of the way things go, right?
Yeah.
The overall biosphere is larger than the national park by 3 times, right? And private landholders exist on the buffer zones of the park. So the fire damage to the private land affects the owners of that land in the same way as it would in like Brazil. But in the public area, that just becomes deforested steppe because they don't have the money to do it. And the accusation is that these private landholders then illegally graze their cattle in the public land for free, right? Like,
yeah,
there we go. Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
It's fan-fucking-tastic, mate.
And of course, there's no mechanism to buy the national park land, which of course the Chilean government, hopefully through the data that I've explained, the Chilean government is trying to obscure the numbers and the size of the problem.
Yeah.
Not that there is a problem. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to go back to Argentina. I believe we had Argentina already, didn't we? Or did we?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Well, Patagonia was in Argentina, right?
Yeah. Patagonia was in Argentina. That was under Bolsonaro, though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, that was Amazon. That was the Amazon.
Oh, the Amazon, yeah.
Who was this other character? I'm going backwards in time here. Oh, Joe Louis.
Joe Louis, that's right,
and the various presidents of Argentina that he bought off.
Uh-huh. And they're back.
Right.
They're back for more.
And they're back for more. We got Argentina yet again. Isn't that great? So, Argentina famously received a $40 billion subsidy from our government because the president, Javier Milei, canceled all government funding for their public services, and their entire economy collapsed, and riots happened on the street, and then the U.S. government gave their government a bunch of money to float their strange, they call it libertarian economic experiment, let's call it. I don't know if I'd call it libertarian so much as like crazy, irresponsible government behavior, but what do I know?
We're just podcasters, Mike, as a hobby.
Yeah, we are just podcasters. What do we know? So, in 2011, Argentina put a 15% cap on foreign ownership of rural lands, which pretty much made everybody pretty fucking mad, right? Made them pretty mad. So, President Javier Milei... I
didn't lose any sleep over it, but carry on.
Mm-hmm. So, President Javier Milei repealed this act preventing foreign ownership of land as part of the sweeping deregulation that caused their entire country to collapse and to get a $40 billion investment into Argentina. Multiple challenges were made, and eventually in 2026, they had an injunction, but they had a fire as well.
Classic fire. Always rearing its ugly head when it's most convenient for those elites.
Right. Now, we don't know if this fire is going to directly lead to foreign ownership because there is an injunction. All right, that's not how long-term plans work, guys. I'm just saying. If in 23 they said that they were going to allow it, in 26 they're going to have a fire, right?
Yeah.
And this court is going to get changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would assume. So we know that there's a potential for some bad stuff. Let's put it that way.
Bad stuff.
Yeah. So in 23, they repeal this law. January 26, arson was confirmed by investigators. 3,000 plus people were evacuated. Patagonia and rainforest was on fire. Accelerants were used to start the fire.
Multiple ignition points?
I don't know if there were multiple ignition points, but they found accelerants.
Yep.
And of course, those who they identified were not named publicly.
Well, why would they be, Mike?
Mm-hmm. So we are going to introduce a conspiracy document, the Plan Undinia, which we will cover right now. So in 1971, Walter Beveragi Allende, who is a Harvard-educated Argentine economist, created a document that supported the idea that the Israeli government had a secret plan to burn down the rainforest and steal land in Argentina. Now, the more conspiracy-minded think that the Israelis are trying to build a foothold in Argentina. I don't know about that. I think that if it's true, it probably has to do with the fact that Argentina was, how do I say this, a site of refuge for Nazis after the Second World War and was taken over and was a fascist government that had ties to the United States government up into the present day. So the Israelis have some good reasons to not care for the government of Argentina.
Sure.
Yeah. It's look up the history of Argentina, everybody. It's pretty interesting. I believe that's where some of the more famous Nazis who escaped Nuremberg went to. So in January 26, when this fire started, the fire started just coincidentally right around the same time that the court put an injunction on buying land. So the fire could have been started to buy land. Let's put it that way. That's what I'm saying here. And we're going to get into what accelerants were used. But in January 26, the former chief of the Argentine army claimed that Israel was behind the fires. And he used the Chilean fires we just talked about as part of his reasoning to support the idea that Israel was trying to start fires in Argentina to buy rainforest land, right? And of course, he was called out as being an anti-Semite, even though it has nothing to do with Judaism and everything to do with the state of Israel. But we're going to pretend that...
Yeah, don't conflate those two. Okay.
Well, I mean,
people
have to have some consistency. We have to have some consistency.
Conflate them. Is my point? Is that if you
criticize Israel
tries
to conflate them.
Of course they do.
Yeah. It's like they want it both ways. These Zionist types, they want everything both ways. It's not how it works. Either the Zionist state is the Zionist state, or somehow this country represents a religion that has followers all over the world. You can't have it both ways, which one is clearly ridiculous. I mean, a foreign country does not represent a religion across the globe unless that foreign country is Vatican City, right? That's a little different, but in any case. So they had a pretty big political figure there claim that it was Israel, and he has not retracted his statements, though he did, one of his people, the radio host that he was talking to, retracted and apologized, but the general did not.
Sure.
So, at January 26th, this is where it becomes interesting, a deep-faked video of an Israeli politician making statements confirming Israel's intent was released. They claim it's deep-faked. I didn't watch it myself. We have to remember that this is the same government who is deep-faking videos of their president and claiming that he is still alive, or prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, right? This is St. Patrick's Day. As of right now, the Israeli government is claiming that Benjamin Netanyahu is still alive, but all the videos of him are deepfakes.
Yeah.
So who knows? My cigar went out. I'm going to have to relight, as painful as that is to me.
Sure.
Are you done with your cigar?
Yeah, I got down to about 1.5 inches, and it kind of went out, and I was like, F this noise, man.
Well, we're going to break with tradition because I still have nasty. 3 inches left. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. So there was some allegations that an Israeli grenade was used to light some of the fires. It wasn't. It was an Argentinian grenade. Not that that proves anything other than a grenade was used to start the fires.
Well, it's easier to fly from Israel to Argentina and use an Argentinian grenade than it is to bring an Israeli grenade with you on the plane.
Yeah, it doesn't really even make sense when you think about it, right? And now, this is very unfortunate, but some Jewish communities were attacked in Argentina as a part of the outrage over the fire and the claim that Israel was starting it on purpose. This was fueled on by the fact that their president, who was a Roman Catholic, has publicly said that he intends on converting to Judaism after he is done being president, and has very serious ties with Israel, inappropriate ties, which we'll get into in a later episode, potentially.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say here is that the claims are not unfounded. The president of their country, of their country is subservient to Israel. So not that that has any parallels to our country.
And was also on vacation in Florida or something?
Right. Yeah. He's going to go on vacation in Florida. They do have foreign companies that own land in Argentina, as we previously discussed. And it's interesting. So at the time of broadcast, we still don't have any information on who started these fires, why they were started, who did anything. Impossible to know. But we do have an accusation by a government official that it was Israel. And I don't know. There's not enough evidence. Because Argentina has a history of protecting Nazis. Adolf Eichmann was in Argentina when he was captured, right? So they would certainly be a target. Had to be for right reasons. I'm not even disagreeing with that, but it's all shrouded in mystery. Yeah. Which again, is that part of a trend? Is that part of a trend? Oh boy. And of course, the government denies everything. So that's what we know. So we're going to move on to Israel. Because Israel has a fire problem.
Okay.
Very strange. So from 2004 to 2010, 100 confirmed arsons all occurred in northern Israel, primarily in Galilee and Carmel. The government of Israel attributed all of these fires to Palestinians.
Okay.
Yes. The Israeli government refers to these arsons as a sustained, coordinated campaign of incendiary attacks against Israeli forests, many of them planted by the Jewish National Fund, as a long-term reforestation project, which is awful. I'm against anybody burning down forests, whoever the fires were. Now, we have to remember that this is Israel, so would they be truthful?
They're God's chosen people, so. Mike.
Yeah, well, Now, of course, no Palestinians acquired any land from any of these fires, but we also know that Palestinians are in the losing game of land and not in the acquiring game of land. Oh, my gosh.
To have a winner, you got to have a loser, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Now, in 25, a ton of fires have been started around Jerusalem in the forested areas. In these fires, 3 people were arrested for deliberately setting the fires. All 3 were Israeli nationals. So Israel did not claim that the 2025 fires were started by Palestinians. As I repeated, they arrested Israeli citizens for that.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing there's fires right now since they're being bombed, unfortunately, as a part of their war. But kind of crazy. Now, what do you think the odds are that these 100 fires that were started from 2004 to 10 were all started by Palestinians, as the Israeli government claims?
I don't think the odds are too good, but...
Right. So, that is our last major section. We are going to go on to some pattern recognition that the AI has allowed us, right? We have 3 larger patterns. We have state-directed arson. And according to this, that was Russia alone, though Russia did claim that the EU was starting at least some of those fires.
Sure.
And they did arrest people and have documented payments. And I do not doubt that Russia was actively trying to burn infrastructure down. That would fall well within their modus operandi for sure. It's not like Russia's a good guy or anything. Like they are not. Yeah, they are not a good guy. They are a bad guy for sure. And then we have state-enabled exploitation, and this goes for Brazil, Greece, and Argentina. They didn't have Chile in there, but I would put Chile in there as well.
Uh-huh.
Argentina protects the people that start the fires. That's the big one, is that these fires in Argentina, nobody knows who started them or why they were started. It's always, it's strange. Very strange. And then we have the opportunistic fire exploitation, such as Maui, Los Angeles, and Australia. Though those three places had coordinated fires. Well, at least Los Angeles and Australia did. Maui didn't. They just kind of allowed their infrastructure to start the fire. Very interesting. Interesting. So, I think that's pretty good here. Pretty good. We got one unsolved, ongoing. We have some settled ones that seem not to be that settled. But and I think we established some patterns here. I didn't realize that fires were such a big issue until I started researching this topic.
Yeah.
And 100 fires in Israel in a 6-year period, that's crazy. And certainly that's a lot of fires. Certainly some of them had to have been started by Hamas. Had to have been, right?
Yeah.
It only makes sense. It makes sense. 100%.
That whole area over there is kind of a hotbed of unrest, let's say. So could be anyone.
Right. It could be any government or non-governmental actor.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the theme here. There is always a mixture of the two, but it certainly seems like the people who are in power are always in a good position to take advantage of the fallout, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it? Very strange. Very strange. So, how do you like your cigar?
I did not like it. I did not like it one bit.
Yeah, this is not the best one in the world.
I gave it a 0.5, which is surprisingly less than the Underground Shade. It's less than a couple other ones that I rated, but it was bad from the start. It was bad all the way through, and it was long as fuck. And the cap started disintegrating about halfway through. So and I made note of how shittily the cap looked at the very top of the episode. It's not well made. It doesn't taste good. It's gross. There's no redeemable quality about this cigar. I can't find a single redeemable quality other than I haven't thrown up yet.
Yeah, I put it at a 0.75. I almost gave it a 1.
Yeah.
The reason why, it started off terrible. The middle body was terrible, no flavor change. But now I'm in the last quarter of this cigar, and I am getting hints.
No.
I'm going to take a puff here. I'm taking a puff here.
Okay.
I'm getting an undertone of mold in the cigar.
There you go.
That, like black mold or the moldy, unpleasant flavor, like unhealthy. It tastes unhealthy. That's what it does not. It's not good.
Yep.
It's not good. And I'm starting to get acetone.
Yeah.
And that acetone that's never good. I'm sure if I were to finish this down to the last inch, it would be a 0.5. It's not great. Moldy acetone is not my my desired cigar flavor.
No, usually. That's not what your palate craves. Moldy acetone.
That is not what the body craves. No, it is not. Put some electrolytes on it.
Yeah, that's what plants crave.
Yeah, that's what plants crave. No, this is terrible. This is horrible. I'm putting it down. I did not finish it. I had 2 inches left or so.
Yep.
Not worthy. Not worthy. So
nope. Stay far, far away from the Fidalgo. Far away. Don't go starting fires in foreign countries or even your own. It's not a good thing to do. No,
it is not. It is bad. 100% bad. Especially because I live in a forested area. So I do have a personal interest in that, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
otherwise, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Be safe. Have fun.